Weather Ventures, beginning October 1st on the Weather Channel.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the Great Plains, fall gets off to a stormy and sometimes severe start. We'll show you where the threat is the greatest.
But it still feels like summer in the Northeast. Find out just how long it will last straight ahead on PM Edition. Hi and welcome to PM Edition. I'm Carl Parker.
And I'm Jennifer Lopez. Thanks so much for joining us on this Monday afternoon. We are tracking, again, the possibility of strong storms through the upper Midwest and across the plains. These areas shaded in red have the greatest risk, anywhere from Minneapolis south down into the Omaha area. So let's get a better look at what we need to pay close attention to with Carl.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the setup here, and you can see that we've got an upper low that is now coming out of the west. This is the same upper low, by the way, that caused all the problems in California. Brought some much needed rain as well. You're looking at water vapor imagery. This shows the patterns in the upper levels of the atmosphere and the moisture in the upper levels. And right in there is that vigorous upper low starting now to pull out into the northern plains and getting into an area where we find higher dew point air, and the result is that you've got instability there. You've got moisture, you've got warm air, and instability. Air is inclined to rise once it starts to rise, and that is why we're starting to see some very strong thunderstorms developing in this region. Here's a look at the radar, and we're now seeing that area of storms developing a little tail back down into northwestern Iowa and into eastern parts of Nebraska. So those are two areas that could continue to be pretty active for a while tonight, but most of the action is now in southern parts of Minnesota and coming up on that 35 corridor. We've got a couple of warnings here. One is now off to the west-southwest of Minneapolis associated with that cell right there. And then another cell has come through North Mankato, produced 67-mile-an-hour wind when it came through Mankato, and you see that curvature right there. That is what we call a bow echo. That is now moving towards the south side of the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro. So get ready for potential wind as that moves in. That's moving northeast at about 40 to 45 miles an hour. Could get very windy here on the south side of town as that moves towards 35. And again, we've got another severe cell off to the west. So a lot going on here in the Twin Cities, that is for sure. And we take you a little bit farther northward. We've got more warnings extending up and across the 35 corridor in the northeast part of the state. Couple of warnings around Duluth and more strong cells now into parts of Wisconsin. So here is your forecast then for tomorrow. We'll watch that front come through. We move the showers and the storms into the lakes in Chicago and Indianapolis and Peoria and down towards Joplin and Springfield. Could be a wet day tomorrow, scattered showers at least. And look at the change in the temperatures. 94 in Louisville, 59 degrees tomorrow in the Twin Cities. Wet weather's been the problem in parts of the South. Jen's got that story for us.
Yeah, it was kind of a gloomy weekend across portions of Florida. The sunshine, not really out too much in the Sunshine State. Showers still popping up here, and that will continue as we go through the afternoon and even into tomorrow. Let's go to the radar now and take a look at southern Florida. Key West getting socked with some pretty heavy rainfall, and also a thunderstorm right over Miami, right over the airport. But that storm is moving westward and will continue to weaken. As we go up into central Florida, those easterly winds bringing in a few showers here just to the south of the Cape here. We're also noticing isolated thunderstorms showing up around the Tampa Bay area. But once we move up into Louisiana, we're getting more rain for this area, as well as up into Mississippi, and some scattered thunderstorms even showing up around the Alabama area. Rain right over New Orleans. This is where Monday Night Football is being played. I know it's a dome, but we can still find the rain for those going to the game, and we will still look for it. Let's look at the conditions, and we will see more heavy downpours coming along into the Gulf Coast as that moisture continues to be pushed up into the central Gulf, from the central Gulf right into Louisiana and up into Mississippi, and some of this rain is expected to be heavy at times. Now, certainly for tomorrow, right through the Mississippi River is where we'll find the best chance for rain. Looks like it'll stay dry through the Appalachians down to the southeast for this week, at least until maybe Thursday, when that front finally moves across the southeast. Still looking for dry weather around Charlotte, Columbia, South Carolina, and over into Atlanta. But rain may come into Nashville, shows up again into Memphis for your Wednesday. Watch out in Houston, more showers and thunderstorms for the middle of the week. Carl?
Well, if you're looking for great weather, you need look no farther than New York City. Just a beautiful day today around the 5 boroughs. Warm weather, about 80, low humidity. It is, however, going to get hotter in the next few days. Temperatures are going to be a lot more summer-like than fall-like all across the Northeast, and I'll show you what we're talking about in just a moment. First, let's show you what's happening with the wet weather, or lack thereof. We've only had 1/3 of an inch of rain in Baltimore for the entire month, and 1/3 of an inch there in Cincinnati, and even less than that in Norfolk. Here's the last time we saw a 1/2 inch, June 27th in Cincinnati, and August in Baltimore and in Norfolk. Forecast for the next few days, maybe some showers and storms towards the middle of the week, towards Wednesday and Thursday, but in the meantime, it is going to continue to be very dry indeed. And look at that warmth, 90 in Baltimore by the time Wednesday rolls around. 90 degrees. Here we are in early fall, and the weather continues to be unbelievably warm. 88 tomorrow in D.C., 87 in Pittsburgh, even a few degrees warmer getting up into Tuesday. We've got a lot more coming up. A massive cleanup project gets underway in Los Angeles as the first big storm of the season leads to a muddy mess.
Plus, the arrival of fall means another round of sneezes, wheezes, and sniffles. We'll show you where allergy attacks are the worst. Still ahead on PM Edition.